welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Dave beside me, Ryan down below. We are ready to break down some Thursday sports. We have a little bit of baseball and obviously the Thursday night football game that we will get to. Jay Stone says, let's fucking go Sox. So the Sox are doing well for him. Justin, smash like button. Much appreciated. My homie just hit me and said he'll give me 6 with LA Charger for plus 300. I'm on my way to Scrib now. You'll be on Bluetooth when you come live. Awesome. I like the Chargers today. I really do. No cussing my kids in the car. Oh, great. Awesome. Well, I already failed that, but it's okay. Well, it might not be okay, but I'm sorry. I apologize. But we will go and kind of look at what's going on with the current show standings. So yesterday, we are all now in the green in best bets, which is great. Dog of the day, over under. A little bit of work, but it'll happen. We're getting towards the end of the MLB season. And then next year, obviously, we'll have full season stats for MLB. But not too bad over the last 15 days, not at all. And then looking at football once again, nothing has changed since last week, but looking to really hit it off well starting tonight for week 2. But I picked 3 baseball games for us to go over, and then we will go through the football game. And of course, we'll start with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. And this one, I'll bring up the current odds here. For today, you can get Tampa Bay plus 118 to plus 110. I can get Toronto for minus 130 to minus 141. 7s and a 6.5 available in this one here. 2 teams going in opposite directions. Tampa Bay 1-5 in their last 6 games. Toronto 13-4 in their last 17. On yesterday's show, I said that take Toronto live because I, like everyone else or a lot of people, expected Tampa Bay to come out with Rasmussen on the mound and have a good performance. But neither of those things happened. And Toronto was leading throughout and won the game. I did have Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases at plus 120 as my best bet yesterday. And today it's plus 140. So basically, if you haven't been following what Bo Bichette's been doing, in his last 14 games, he's 29 hits, 8 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs, 22 RBIs, and a 483 average. Yes, it's McClanahan on the mound for the Rays, their best pitcher. He is also coming off injury, so we don't even know how long he's going to pitch in this game, but it doesn't really make much difference for me. I'm on Toronto money line minus 128, and I have a 1.5 on Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases plus 140 today. I don't want to say free money because, hey, it's possible he only gets a single today. Maybe he doesn't get a hit today, but how hot he has been, I'm going to continue to take that plus money over and over and over again. Really, the way Bichette's playing, it should be minus 110. It should not be plus 140. So I'll take that every day of the week. Dave, Rays, Blue Jays, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I don't really have a bet here in this game. I will say that Shane McClanahan, even though he looked like he fell off from his first half statistical just blowout, having an ERA under 2, he still pitched pretty well. He's pitched pretty well in the month of August. I mean, all his ERA is still under 3. I think Toronto's definitely going in the right direction, and Tampa Bay is not on a losing streak, but I think they've won 1 game in the past 6 or 7. I would lean towards the Jays. I'm just not going to bet in this game. We're just talking to Terry that my MLB cap is way off. So for me to be able to take a bet, especially when there's football going on, I've got to be super confident in the play. And I kind of feel like I'm floundering a little bit in MLB. So I probably lean towards the Jays, but I'm not pitching or not choosing a bet probably, I mean, not now and probably not today, just because of Shane McClanahan. He's still, he's still one of the best pitchers in baseball. So that scares me. And Gossman's done okay. Gossman's pitched pretty well against the Rays, actually. I mean, I think his ERA was 4.09, but he's faced him 3 or 4 times, and that's fairly decent. So lean Jays, no play.
All right. Ryan, Rays, Blue Jays. What do you think here?
I'm on the Blue Jays in this game. In my analysis, they are better than Tampa Bay in a lot of different categories. But one of the categories I'm looking at is the bullpen. And you mentioned it, Terry. McClanahan's not going to go deep into this game. It just doesn't work out that way when a player comes off IL. He may get 50 pitches. He may get 70 pitches, in the most optimistic outlook. And this is a 5-game series with a doubleheader stuck in the middle. And Toronto has come out better in terms of efficiency in using the bullpen over those 5 games. So they've got a big advantage in bullpen in this game. And it may be tight, but I think Toronto is going to end up winning this game. And for me, it was a play on Toronto.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, Terry, this channel, one of the reasons I started betting more consistently. Your favorite Habs fan here. Haha. Interesting.
What's a Hab? I actually know what that is. Mm-hmm. Canadian, right? Canadians.
Yeah, Montreal Canadiens, yes.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the second game here that I chose, the Kansas City Royals and the Minnesota Twins. You can find Kansas City plus 149 to plus 140. Minnesota's minus 165 to minus 179. 8.5s right across the board in this one here. I'm taking Twins team total over 4.5. Twins haven't really been playing the best, so not a team that I really am excited to run to the window to back. But Daniel Lynch is pretty bad. In his last game against Detroit, he went 3.2 innings, gave up 10 hits and 6 earned runs. The game before that against Detroit, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and 3 walks. And against the previous game against San Diego, 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, and 1 walk. So he is allowing 4+ runs, walks, ton of hits. He's just not pitching well whatsoever right now. Bundy coming off maybe his worst start of the year. So I'm not going to take the Twins. I'm not going to back the Twins on the money line or on the run line or anything. But I will take their team total over 4.5. I think they get to 5 runs in this game. And it was minus 115. So that's the only total that I like today. Dave, Royals, Twins, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, another game that has conflicting stuff going on that I'm off of. But I will say Kansas City is the worst team in baseball the last 2 weeks versus right-handed pitching. 200 average, 583 OPS, 64 WRC plus. They aren't creating runs. The only other problem I see in this, I mean, it's probably a twin spot, but the Twins, let me pull that up. The Twins, they've been hitting left-handed pitching fairly decently, 261 average, 721 OPS, 108 WRC plus. The problem is their walk rate's 1.4% and their strikeout rate's 28%. So they're striking out a lot. They're not walking a lot, which means not a lot of guys on base. And we know from Billy Beane and Moneyball that getting on base is scoring runs. So good luck with that team total over. I'm totally a miss on this game. And by the way, the Royals bullpen's actually been pretty decent too. So full game, first 5 team totals, everything's kind of a mishmash for me. So I'm off of it.
All right. Ryan, Royals Twins, what do you think of this one?
There's no play for me on this game. I can only bet the Twins here. They're motivated. They're in a wild card race. I can only bet the Twins. I was looking for ways to play them. I was looking at the run line for the Twins, and I just didn't feel comfortable with Dylan Bundy as the pilot of my run line. So this is a pass for me, but I really think the Twins win here.
All right. And then we'll look at the third baseball game, get a little bit in last pitch, and then head to the NFL. And the last game that I chose here, before we get to that, actually, BetStamp, use code WILD when signing up. After you sign up, there's a referral code section. Put the code WILD, put WILD in there. Help out the show. Find the best odds for whatever you are betting. Make sure to do your line shopping, especially in the NFL. There's like point differences, 1.5, 2 point, even in totals as well. So make sure to shop around and get the best lines. Going on to the final game that I chose for tonight, the only game starting after the NFL game. So I guess trying to compete with the NFL, it's not going to do very well, but that's just the case. We have the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. San Diego minus 160 to minus 167. Arizona plus 135 to plus 145. Nines mostly across the board in this one. As soon as I saw this game happening, I thought, okay, I'm fading Manaea. However I have to do it, I'm going to fade him. He has a 7.88 ERA in August. In the one game he started in September, he got smashed by the Dodgers in 4.1 innings, giving up 9 hits, 8 earned runs, and 3 home runs. Obviously, the Diamondbacks are a different team, but Manaea is getting hit basically no matter who faces him. The Diamondbacks have been a really hot team as of late, but their rookie pitcher that they have starting got smashed in the minors. So if I was going to look at anything, it would be the over 9 in this one, because I do think this is going to be a very high scoring game. But how I went about this, I was looking at Arizona team total. You can get 3.5 for minus 125. Not a price I want to pay, even with the 3.5 team total. So I decided to look at who is batting well for the Diamondbacks. Jake McCarthy, in his last 6 games, has 10 hits, a 4.17 average, and a 3.14 average all season long against lefties. He has been hitting the ball pretty well for the Diamondbacks. So I have him to get a hit, parlayed with Bo Bichette to get a hit for plus 106. And then I have Jake McCarthy over 1.5 bases at plus 135. So basically you need 2 singles, a double or a triple or a home run to cash that. He has to get 2 bases from hits. The same with the Bo Bichette prop earlier. But Manaea has been getting smashed. So I think it's more than fair that McCarthy can get 2 singles or a double. As long as he is in the lineup. Obviously, he's not confirmed yet, but I would expect him to be in the lineup. Dave, Padres, Diamondbacks, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, usually when I see Sean Manaea, it's a first 5 fade in all of baseball, all of starting pitching, just behind Johan Adon, who isn't even, in the major leagues right now. If you bet the Padres first 5 money line while Sean Manaea was pitching, you've lost over 10 units. He's 5-14 and 5. So that's god awful. The problem is that Arizona's not hitting left-handed pitching. They have horrible stats past 2 weeks. 188 average, 512 OPS, 0.087 ISO. So they're just, when they do hit it, they're little duck farts, and 43 WRC plus. So it's weighted too much on Arizona not hitting left-handed pitching. Rookie pitcher. The starter for Arizona is a rookie, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
he got smashed in the minors. Jameson.
Yeah. The Padres have been such a fade team, but how do you go with a team that isn't hitting left-handed pitching and throwing a rookie for his first start? And by the way, both bullpens stink too, at least recently. So it's a stay off. I wish I could fade Manaea, but I'm not going to.
For over-under bets, what is best to look at to be confident in the bet? Can't seem to hit the over-unders.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Over-unders can be very tough. You have to really, like Dave said, Dave just talked me off the over, so I'm not going to be taking the over, just with how Arizona is against lefties. In baseball, You obviously want to see the pitchers is obviously the main thing, starting pitchers. Then you want to look at how that team is hitting in the last 7 days or last 15 days, how that team hits against lefties or righties, depending on who they're facing, how the team's mojo is, and you just look at all that and players, and if it works out 10 over and under, that's what you take.
I have 2 pieces of advice for this, actually, because I think a lot of people want a specific place to start, so I'll make it easy. The first thing I do is, if I had to take 2 different ways to take an over and an under in baseball specifically, you look at a pitcher that's lights out and look for the first 5 under, and don't be scared if it's low. Like I had DeGrom versus the Rockies, and the over-under was half a run. So it's basically DeGrom to shut him out in the first 5 innings. Well, that's DeGrom. He's the best pitcher in baseball. So start with really good pitchers, first 5. And the other one is teams that are traveling east to west coast or west to east coast with no rest. Those usually are unders. Travel affects pitching or hitting way more than it does pitching. So if you want that, do that. Another one is to look at the wind. The problem is a lot of stadiums are built to not have the wind affect it. Atlanta's one. So the wind's kind of tricky. A lot of people use that, so beware of that. But traveling teams with no rest and really good pitchers first 5.
All right. Ryan, what do you think about Padres and Diamondbacks? And do you have any opinions on the betting overs and unders?
The only thing that I would add that is trends to that.
Yeah.
I look for teams that have, like for instance here, like the Padres, to segue into this game, the Padres have been involved in a ton of overs recently. Mm-hmm. But for me, I ended up staying off because the Diamondbacks really aren't involved in too many overs. I don't, when these AAA pitchers get called up, it's a big unknown to me. And I don't look at AAA stats. The Pacific Coast League is notoriously a really high scoring league at altitude in most cases. So I don't know enough to look at those numbers. So I looked at this game and I stayed off the over. And the Padres just aren't a good hitting team. They just aren't. They're near the bottom of the league in a lot of hitting categories. So the Padres are a hard team to have confidence in backing the over, and that's why I stayed off of them in this game. I would think they get it done. They need to win this game, and to go and play a team that has nothing to play for with a AAA pitcher, they need to get it done. And but for me, there's no play on this game for me.
All right. Perfect. And we'll go to the comment here. Great stuff. That's awesome. And we will go to last pitch and look at the rest of baseball and see if anybody has any other plays. I'm not really involved in any of the other games. Phillies, Marlins, Syndergaard against Lopez. Didn't really look too deep into that one. Athletics and Astros, McCullers. I would like to back Houston, but I'm priced right out of it. So I do think Houston wins if you want for a parlay. Houston money line for a parlay piece, but it's a very high price, and you can't really bet the run line because I'm also priced out of that as well. Pirates and the Mets, obviously a pass, but yeah, a pass. Reds, Cardinals, Chase Anderson against Mikolas. I would look towards to back the Cardinals in some fashion. Chase Anderson, not very good. Probably won't pitch very long if he does. So no opinions or no plays for me there, but it would be a lean towards backing St. Louis in some fashion. If Pujols is in the lineup, maybe he gets one more closer to 700. Maybe a Pujols home run could be a look, but no official plays for me there. Dave, last pitch. The rest of this amazing baseball slate that we have, what do you think?
No opinion. I looked at everything. Nothing jumped off the page. I didn't like the under. I bet the under in the White Sox Guardians game. That's going to lose. My mind's focused on football, but I'm still looking at baseball. Like I'm still going to try to fade certain guys. I would have loved to fade Manaea today, but I just can't. So no other plays.
I was looking at that, Justin. I really was. Ryan, what do you think here? Last pitch.
So I have 2 more plays, and I'll start with my best bet, and that is on the Phillies over the Marlins. And I would contend that this is a big game for the Phillies because one, they're in a wild card race. They have a chance. They have a lot to play for. They have the chance to catch either the Braves or the Mets and get into a home field advantage. Probably that would be the Braves because they have 7 games against the Braves still, and so it's in they controlled their own destiny in that regard. But also, if you look at the Phillies' schedule, after this game with the Marlins, they have 7 games with the Braves coming up, and they have a series with the Blue Jays coming up. That's a really tough schedule. They need to beat the Marlins today because this is a weak team, and they need to beat them. And for me, this is best bet because they have Syndergaard isn't great, but I think he's got a slight advantage here. Their bats are way better than the Marlins in just about any category. Bullpen, I would give advantage to the Phillies, even though the Phillies bullpen isn't that great. So for me, this is a strong play. All the circumstance and the data supports the Phillies in this game. And my last play is the Oakland-Houston over. Oakland has been involved in a bunch of like football score type games, 7-8, 9-7. They've been hitting a little bit better. For them, they're hitting really well. I think they can contribute to the total against Lance McCullers, who he's now back in the rotation, but gives up a lot of walks. Caprillian's been awful. He's a guy I've been fading all year. His numbers have been awful. He got skipped in the rotation because of a cut on his finger. This looks like an over to me.
All right. And then Justin's best bet is Mets over 4.5, their team total. Best of luck, Justin. And Justin, hey, message me on Twitter at Let's Go Wild Picks, and we can get you on the show sometime. That offer is still open. And your dog of the day is Ray's Moneyline. Hey, don't be sorry. Bet. I can totally understanding wanting to back McClanahan. I just don't see what he's going to do after injury, but you never know. He might be lights out, and there could be an upset win there. But going on to the NFL and looking at the Thursday night game, we have the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. You can currently find the Chargers plus 165 to plus 176. Kansas City is minus 190 to minus 208. You can see 4s and a couple 4.5s on the spread. There's 53.5, 54, and 55 when it comes to the total. No real opinion on the total here for me. I know a lot of people like the under, primetime unders. These are 2 good offensive teams. That's the only thing that would scare me off the under. But I'm backing the Chargers here. I have the Chargers plus 4.5, and I also have the Chargers money line. I did pay the 165 at DraftKings instead of the plus 176 available at other spots, because if you are in Canada and you do put a money line bet in this game, as soon as that team goes up 7 points, you cash. So I took the little bit of a less value because if the Chargers go up 7 at any point, I cash the money line bet. So that is my reason for taking the lower odds. But I think Chargers win this game. They've won 3 of their last 4 games in Kansas City. And Herbert is 5-1 against the spread when he's an underdog of 3 or more. So he has performed well as an underdog. I think people are looking at what Kansas City did last week against Arizona and thinking there's no way Mahomes could lose this game. Look at how well he played last week. I think it's an overreaction. I think the Chargers keep this game close. I really like the plus 4.5, but I also like them to get the win, upset win. If I had to make a score prediction, I feel like it's going to be 24-21 for the Chargers. Dave, NFL, Thursday night, Chargers, Chiefs, division rivalry. What do you think here?
I'm on the other side of both, and I wasn't on a total until I started to think about it. But to me, I mean, I index sports, all the football, both NFL and college, and I have the Chiefs as almost an 8-point favorite. I know, I mean, first of all, there's on offense at least, there's nothing. I mean, the Chargers are good, but there's not a spot where the Chargers are better on offense. On defense, there is. I'd say the Chiefs' defense is sneaky okay or sneaky good. Last year, last 8 games of the season or last 7, they averaged giving up less than 10 runs. 10 runs. See what I'm doing? 10 points per game, which the first part of the season and the year before they had, what we consider a bad defense. I think they're serviceable. Keenan Allen's out for the Chargers, their main receiving threat, and Eckler's good, but I mean that just makes it easier for the Kansas City defense to focus in on one aspect versus multiple. The other thing is people say, oh, well, the Chargers have covered the spread at Arrowhead, and they have 5 of the last 7. But here's the deal. Those spreads were a lot more than 4 points. I actually got this game at 3.5. This is when the Kansas City Chiefs were the top team in the NFL. They were getting ridiculous. I mean, at like 10 points, 7 points. This spread is definitely manageable. I think home opener at Kansas City, one of the loudest places to play in the NFL. I like the Chiefs. I also like the over, and it's sort of even a hedge bet. I usually take primetime unders. We've talked about this at length, but here's what I'm thinking. I think if Mahomes is going to come out firing, they're going to score a lot of points. I looked at the Kansas City team total over. It's at 28.5. It's a little bit too much. But I think if the Chargers win the game and I don't win my side bet, I think they're going to have to score. So if they have to score, that's obviously an over game. It seems like, you're on both the opposite side of both. And a lot of people are, but my 2 bets in this game, my best bet is the side at -4. And my best total is the over 54. 53.5, I think you can get it at some places.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of used to kind of being against everybody in football so far this year. It's how it's gone. But,
yeah.
We'll see.
It'll change. It'll change.
Yeah, we'll see how the results go. Ryan, do you have any opinions here on the football game? Chargers and Kansas City?
I don't have an official play. My lean here is on the Chiefs. I thought they looked clinical against Arizona last week. That the first half was competitive, but the second half they put their foot down on the accelerator. I lean Chiefs on this game. I have not done my full handicap yet, so if anyone wants to follow me on BetStamp RY_GUY, if I do have a play, I will post it there.
All right, perfect. I was just looking. You can get 53.5, Dave, for -110. The over 53.5 for your over under. But follow everyone in the description below. Ryan, obviously, Dave, Tim and Nick, me, everybody. Follow everybody in the description below, and we will go on to the best bet segment. And we'll start with over-under, as we usually do here. For me, it is Minnesota team total over 4.5. Nick and Tim are both going Chargers, Kansas City under 54. And Dave is going Kansas City and Chargers over 53.5. Ryan, you're going Oakland and Houston over 8. And this one, going on to dog of the day. For me, it's the Los Angeles Chargers +176. Nick is going with the Arizona Diamondbacks first 5 +138. And Tim is going with the Las Vegas Aces +105. As long as they are still dogs, because I thought I heard that they're not dogs anymore. So let me quickly check. They have to be still dogs somewhere. Yeah, they're still dogs. Okay. So you can still get Las Vegas as a dog. Going on to best bets. For me, nothing right now. I have not typed anything in, but I will get to that very shortly. Nick is going Chargers, Kansas City under 55, -115. Tim is going
55 now.
There is a 55 available. He had 54.5, which I can't find, so I'm giving him 55.
Cool.
I can't find a 54.5. So Tim is going with Las Vegas Aces money line in the WNBA. Ryan, you are going Philadelphia Phillies money line -125. Dave, you said you're going Chiefs -4 is your best bet.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. Kansas City -4, which I will get the odds for that. I see -4 is -110, the best odds.
You can get -107 at PointsBet.
All right, -107.
Yep.
Kansas City Chiefs -4. And for me, I do like the Chargers, but I don't want to go against Dave just because.
Do it.
I will go with another play that I really like that should not be +140 under any circumstances. I don't care if it is Shane McClanahan. I'm going right back to Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases, which you can get for +140. It's my biggest bet of the night is on that of the day. Starts in 20 minutes, so make sure to bet that soon if you're going to tail. Bichette over 1.5 bases. That is the show for today. Chiefs money line, Kelsey over 80.5 yards, Mahomes over 17 rushing yards is John's same game parlay. Best of luck with that. The rest of today, in approximately an hour and 20 minutes, we will be going over the Colorado Avalanche, talking about their Stanley Cup win. Yes, it sucks for me to say that. But unfortunately, it happened, and I have to live with it. But the Avalanche, we will be discussing their team, and then we'll be back tomorrow, normal time, 4 p.m. Eastern, or 3 p.m. Eastern, for Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Best of luck on everyone to your bets tonight, and we'll see you again for other episodes. Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.